Hello, my fellow weirdos. Um, I just had something to eat. I ate, Tom, okay? look, look. I still got that. I had the egg roll already, okay? oh, um, but, while I was eating, I was trying to catch up. Um, because like I said, Sunday, Monday, I had no computer pretty much. And I'm still trying to play catch up from, I had to cover the other stuff first to catch up. And okay, so by the weekend, I should be good. And the House Republicans did a sneaky thing that I haven't heard. The only person I heard was Ring of Fire. Farron Cousins just told us, or me. Well, you can see it too. I'm going to read something. They forced a rule, like a rule change, to prevent Democrats from investigating Trump. Just three quick paragraphs. The House Rules Committee, which Speaker Mike Johnson, a Republican from Louisiana, controls, quietly advanced a measure Monday that would halt the legislative body from voting on any resolutions of inquiry, one of the exceedingly few ways that the minority party, Democrats, can force Congress to conduct oversight of Trump's shockingly lawless, careless, and increasingly authoritarian administration. The moves come as Democrats push resolutions demanding answers about the Trump administration's Signalgate leak scandal. One of the measures from Democrats in the House Armed Services Committee would demand that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth supply information about America's attacks on the Houthis in Yemen, as I think it should say Houthis, as well as information about rules governing how classified or sensitive information is handled at the Pentagon. Normal things that the Democrats have been asking about security, national security stuff, and they just keep brushing it off, blowing it under the rug, blowing it off, brushing it under the rug. I told you I'm tired. In the GOP-led House of Representatives, resolutions of inquiry are one of the few ways, until we have the majority again, can currently influence what goes on. The resolutions specifically allow them to demand answers from the administration. It's actually the only vehicle right now that the minority in the House has to do anything, and they want to take it away, but not forever. The resolutions are privileged and have a deadline of 14 legislative days. If the majority party on a committee fails to report a resolution of inquiry to the House within that time, the resolution can be called to the floor without the Speaker's permission. But they did it with a specific time because they know, with a time cutoff, so he can do his shit. He can do his shit because they know. Well, they're not going to have the majority forever in the House. And this shows that they are increasingly concerned about the midterm, about 2026. And they should be. I know we've got a governor race coming in soon. In fact, June 4th is a voting day, and then in November. And yours truly, I can't do anything if I get chosen to work the elections again. I can't. We're in a state that you can't take videos or pictures even inside the polling place. Some states you can do it inside the polling place, but not inside the booth. Some places you can do it in the wherever. But Jersey is a very secure. No. So just for everybody's security, so people in line, whatever, you don't. But they know they're not going to be the majority forever. They may be the minority sooner than later. And if they make that law like a permanent, never-ending law, then when they become the minority, party, they won't have any way to do anything against what, the Democrat administration is doing. And not only that, but even if they still have a Republican, right? Let's say we still got Donald in the White House, in the Oval Office, okay? And the next round of House stuff comes around, and let's say Democrats pull ahead and they're now the majority. You've still got Donald and all the departments, doing what they want, but you are the majority and you can squeak shit through or stop shit they're trying a lot easier. And then they would have to live by the same law because they know Democrats are not going to fall for the Lady Lindsey Graham bullshit that he pulled with the appointing of SCOTUS and just judges in general. He pulled it with Obama on the second deal. Then they pushed Amy Coney Barrett through with less time when their guy Trump was in the first time. They pushed her through in less time, and then they wouldn't let Joe Biden either do anything. Again, they flipped it when it was their turn to be appointed, and then they flipped it back. And he even said, you've probably seen the videos, he said those years ago, he said, and you, right on camera, he said, and you can use those words against me if we do that. And when they did that, and we all used his words against him, it didn't, he had no shame that he blatantly lied to you then, and he's lying to you now, and he has no intention of holding up the law. They're just going to keep switching it whenever they're majority or minority, and they're just so they get the upper hand. Now, I'm sorry, but that is not fair and equal politics in general. And that's what they keep screaming about. You're not playing fair. Meanwhile, they're rigging it even when it's not election. They rig fucking everything. And they have been doing it for a long time. The gerrymandering, all of that. This is what they've been building up to for the last few decades. This is what they have been. This is why they're so fucking arrogant and giddy. Because these people, some of them, from the time they were fucking born, they wanted it to go back to what they read used to be. They wanted it too. And they've been setting it up by getting their people in innocuous little places that you wouldn't think you're thinking politics as in, state, senate, federal. What about people in school boards or just, little community things? Court recorder, the county recorder, through the voting thing. They get something that a lot of people probably could get, but then they serve a term or two, 5, 6 years, whatever it is, total, and then they run for something in a state, because their name has now been known. Then they spend a few terms if they can staying there, and now they're in the federal. That's where all these fucking flukies that the Republikkkans, and that's a KKK, That is their dirty tricks. That's the crap they put. Gerrymandering was not even enough. As much as they gerrymandered some of those state maps to fucking hell and back over the years, they still couldn't consistently win. Even when they're consistently rigging it themselves, whilst accusing the Democrats of rigging it. WTF, dudes. So, yeah. They did that on Monday. Today's Thursday. Did anybody hear about this from mainstream media? Did anybody hear about this until now? Or maybe if you heard it through Farron Cousins? Anyone? Me neither. And that's disgusting. It's disturbing because they're not only doing that kind of gaslighting, blatant, but they're doing it again and again and getting more and more blatant and intrusive with it. And it's very disgusting and disturbing and dystopian. Oh, there's my alliteration for the day. Alrighty, guys. Peace out.